Hello there, my friend. Thanks for clicking and shout out to yourself. Much love from this side. Today's videos are creepier than you could have imagined. Watch every minute carefully. Let's dive in. What is happening here? And as I've told you, today's videos are very interesting. You can see this is the first video, and we have already seen a UFO. But remember, we said this UFO some might not be true.
I'm on my way to work. Can anybody tell me what the hell this is? So weird. What's going on?
Okay, Persians were influenced by Assyrians. But before that, Assyrians were inspired by Hittites, who they conquered. And Hittites, well, they might have been inspired by Kassites, who in turn were inspired by Old Babylonian art and customs. And Babylonians most likely were inspired by Sumerians. Sumerians, of course, were inspired by aliens. It's a joke. I am missing tons of other sources of influence, but you get the picture. We notice a gradual and organic evolution of Mesopotamian culture throughout the lifespan of all these empires. There's definitely an artistic continuity, and the beard never left. It makes me laugh when I see people pointing fingers and accusing one culture of copying another as if that's not the story of humanity. We are not as original as we would like to believe. There's no such thing as a completely new and original idea or concept. They say that good artists copy and great artists steal, and the reasoning behind this idea is that you may not be the first to try something, but if you do it really well, then people will think of you when they see that style. Generally, what tends to happen is that person A really admires person B's work. He incorporates some elements, adds his own twist, and eventually becomes the inspiration for someone else's work. After the revolution, the French became the biggest fanboys of the Romans. And of course, the Romans had been previously inspired by the Greek, and Greek art was inspired by Egyptian art. It's a never-ending chain. And let's not forget interesting periods of cultural mishmash like the Hellenistic era that gave us Greco-Persian art, also Greco-Buddhist art, and a mix of Greco-Roman Egyptian culture as well. So yes, we've always been copycats.
What do you think about it?
Every degree that a man goes through, or the women, if it's in the women's lodges, has a different curse on a different body part. So in the first degree, it's to have your throat cut from ear to ear, and there's an action that goes with it. Second degree is to have your left breast torn open and your heart ripped out. The third degree is to have your stomach cut open and everything burned. We actually call that a colostomy nowadays. You need to relay these conditions. Okay? This is what a man looks like dressed for the first degree. He has a blindfold put on. 6-foot noose is around his neck so that he can be pulled back into line if he goes to make a dash for it. He has a dagger or whatever, something sharp pressed against his naked left breast, because that's to make sure he's not a woman hiding. No gender.
What?
So this doll right here is actually the real Annabelle doll, which is located in an Ed and Lauren Warren Paranormal Museum. And in this video, as you can see, they're trying to relocate their doll from one place to another, and they always keep the door locked of this doll because they don't want any negative energy to come out from that. And according to the people, this doll is 10 times more dangerous than the doll they showed in a movie. So they always keep the doll locked, and they just replaced it. And you will see the guys trying to now will wash his hand with holy water because he don't want any negative energy to attack him or anything. As you can see, the father gonna just give him some holy water, which he have in his hand right now. See, they just locked it, and they turn on the light. So tell people there's a board right there to don't open it, because if you open it, something wrong gonna happen. So what do you think? Right?
Oh, crazy stuff, man. Is that real? Like, real life Annabelle? Can you believe that story, man. If you believe that story or you have doubts, you can tell us in the comment section. Help us to understand too. And that previous video about the Freemasons, at the first degree you cut off, I think, your breast and that kind of stuff. Second degree, your stomach. Man, you can imagine by the time you are reaching to the 36th degree, man, only your soul is left. You have been cut out the whole body. Let's keep watching for more interesting stuff. Now that is creepy. Is that the sun coming from who knows where, down, moving upwards to the sky while it's lighting up? That is crazy. And that theory we were told in school about the sun being what, plasma, or what did they say? Is it true or it's according to how we saw? Share your thoughts about it. I would also like to understand. Seems the school they lie to us, man.
What's the deal with September 23rd? What's the significance here? I posted the video where I was asked by the man in my dream if I would like to live stream the end of the world, and I said, sure, when? And he said, mid-September. And I told all my followers that, and they're sending me these videos like nonstop. Everything is supposed to be happening in the third week of September. Damn it, man.
In the TV show Big Bang Theory, an asteroid strike is expected September 23rd. In the movie Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, an asteroid strikes September 23rd. Julia, a meteor strikes September 23rd. Knowing, solar flare strikes September 22nd, lasting until September 23rd. Little Shop of Horrors, humans are threatened by an event, September 23rd. Tomorrowland, disaster strikes September 23rd. 23, hell will arrive September 23rd. Sleepy Hollow, a dimension opens up September 23rd. Ghostbusters, evil is released on September 23rd. This is the end. 9/23 is the date the rapture happens. Pandemic, outbreak starts September 23rd. Either fake aliens, fake Carrington event, or fake asteroid, September 2023.
I even got one today that said World War III was going to happen. Shit. I don't know what my reaction is supposed to be here. I'm kind of freaked out a little bit. You may or may not have to pay rent in October. Just saying.
Oh, we have some few days here remaining at least, so that we can see what will happen. Until then, let's keep watching these videos. And even on that day, we shall still be here to tell you if it's really going down. No, share love from wherever you are.
This next point I found extremely interesting. Official documentation claiming the Earth is flat, and that mathematical equations used in aeronautics assume a flat, non-rotating Earth. Check these out. This is a CIA document sourced from the Russians, and it's titled Dissertations Defended in the Scientific Council of the Institute of Physics of the Earth. In the document, it mentions a near sun and a formula that is derived on the assumption of a flat Earth. This United States Army document from the Army Research Laboratory on the propagation of electromagnetic fields over flat Earth mentions transmitters placed on the surface of a flat, idealized Earth. In one of its figures, it also mentions flat Earth. In another Army Research Laboratory document, it depicts a diagram showing a flat Earth, crepuscular rays that we mentioned earlier, and a near and localized sun. Here's another document on projectile flight dynamics, and the equations in the document assume a flat Earth. Here's a NASA document on the derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model. Introduction. This report details the development of the linear model of rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. NASA document on the SR-71 Blackbird and its top speed of 2,193 miles per hour. Maneuvers depending on a non-turbulent atmosphere and a non-rotating Earth. Federal Aviation Administration document. Equations of motion assuming a flat, non-rotating Earth. Another NASA document. A rigid aircraft flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. An aircraft model for the AIAA Controlled Design Challenge. Flight dynamics of a rigid aircraft flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. NASA Technical Paper 1285. Flat, non-rotating Earth. A NASA Georgia Tech project in conjunction with the U.S. Air Force. A model frequently used is that of a flat, non-rotating Earth.
Right.
Flat or spherical? After all these episodes, we have still not yet come to a conclusion. But if you have the right answer, please comment in the comment section. Let us debate and see who knows really. Is it flat or spherical? Things are getting...
And they have women-only carriages. It's like Saudi Arabia in here.
Oh my god, are you serious? Currently, I don't live in Japan and I'm really critical about my country, so I usually don't make this kind of reaction video to foreigners in Japan, but this one really got me. You knew that that was the women-only passenger car, meaning you shouldn't enter, men cannot enter, and you just didn't care and you just went into it. You broke the rules, you invaded a safe space for women. Do you know why we have those women-only passenger cars? That's because there's so many creepy men in Japan who try to go behind the women, trying to take pictures of their underwear under the skirt. There have been a lot of physical harassment as well. We call them chikan in Japanese. And it has been a very serious issue. And that's why they had to take these measures. And now you dare to call it segregation. You don't know anything about my country, and you go there and you just don't have any intention to respect our culture nor our rules, and you make this kind of comments. It's incredibly disrespectful. I can't believe this kind of behavior. In another video in which you were holding the Shiba Inu so many times at the dog cafe, the shop worker told you many times that you couldn't do that, but you just didn't care again. And you even dare to say in the description section, "Oh, I paid so much money to go there, why can't I hold the dogs?" Did you know that the world doesn't revolve around you? It's not our responsibility to meet all your criteria. Each place has its own rules. When you go into that space, it's your responsibility to research rules, research the culture, and respecting them. So nobody is forcing you to be in Japan. If you don't have any intention of respecting us, then leave my country. We are not there so that you can make YouTube videos or TikTok videos so that you can be famous. We are not your tool.
What? The way that girl said, leave my country. You could just feel the honor, is it called the feeling of ownership in him? It's like he owns the whole of the country. That is very Kimenarui. And no, respectfully speaking, about the other brother that is being talked about in that video, I was also surprised as well. If I was in his shoes, I think I could have done the same thing, but you can also comment, use the comment section wisely, and I don't mean to disrespect anyone. Lots of love to everyone out there, even in Japan. Let's keep watching, guys.
You guys are going to be shocked when you learn how many people in Hollywood
gender has been inverted. It's one of the tricks of the Illuminati. They invert the gender at birth, so to keep them under their control. It's part of the MK Ultra brainwashing program. It's part of removing the identity so that they don't have a sense of self, and so they don't think for themselves, and so they're easier to control. When the truth comes out, you guys are going to be so shocked. Some of your most loved celebrities are not who they seem. I'm talking about people like Sandra Bullock, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, Tom Cruise, even for the older ones amongst you, Dolly Parton. There's enough proof there. I don't know where my green screen is, but when I get it, or when I get it back, I'll show you guys. It's uncanny. And all of these things are going to come out. It's, it's very sad because women tend to worship these female celebrities and they still want to be like them, But the truth is they're not even women. So their hips will never be female hips. It's not possible for women to even look like that. When you look at the balance between hip, shoulders, distances from navel to hips, the distance of, between the shoulders, the length of the arms, there's certain things that are fundamentally different between men and women, and some of them are impossibilities. So if you are a woman and your arms are a certain length in relation to your height, for example, that's impossible if you're a natural female, for example. So you look at all the Victoria's Secret models, they are not who they seem to be. And do you know where the name comes from, Victoria's Secret? Because Queen Victoria was not female, and that was her secret. And this entire brand has been named after her. All of these models who we think are so beautiful, so hot, we wish we looked like them, they're not even female. So the whole world has become inverted, guys, and that's how they, just keep us small. That's how they keep us under control. So, but the truth's going to come out soon because there's a lot of secrets in Hollywood and it's very, very dark. And when it comes out, it's going to shock the world, but it is necessary and it's time. So we will learn about these things soon enough. Many of these people have participated in very, very nefarious acts. I'm not going to detail them here for obvious reasons because of the censorship, but I can tell you, those at the very top have committed horrific things, and I'm not even going to mention the words here. Some of them have already been removed from the scene. Some have already been taken to the spa, which is what we call it, but it's not really the spa. So yeah, we're on the precipice of an avalanche of disclosure that's going to be released. And for those of us who have been awake and aware for years, have done the research, have gone down the rabbit hole, we just cannot wait for this avalanche of lies to be exposed so that the whole world will know and that people will know we were not crazy. Because people with cognitive dissonance refuse to believe it. So I find it hard to believe, once you go down the rabbit hole, most of us find out what is being done to the little ones underground, how many of them disappear every year, what they are being used for. And once you find out, even if it's a little bit of information, how can you turn away from that? How can you just say, well, I'm just going to carry on with my life because I'm busy? It's beyond me how people can just turn away. But in a way, I guess I can, I can understand. People are just so attached to their little lives and all their material possessions and their job and their reputation and all these things. They're simply not willing to sacrifice that to tell the truth. I find it very, very hard to fathom, to be quite honest. So it's going to be interesting when people realize that these are lives. These are human lives that they chose to ignore the information. They chose to carry on with their superficial lives as if nothing is wrong. They chose to not bring the subject up, not talk about it, and not bring it into the light because it's uncomfortable. Yeah, I find it very shocking. So guys, yeah, a lot of truth will be coming out. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, it's getting quite ridiculous now because, you know, even all the political figures, most of the wives, for example, and the men are not the gender that they appear to be. You look at Macron, for example. Look at his wife. Does she look female to you? No. Look at Barbara Bush. Does she look female to you? Look at President 044, Big Mike. Definitely not female, right? Look at, now it's getting quite ridiculous. We know it's a movie playing out. So in the latest photograph of Jill Biden, we all know they used body doubles, right? And clones. But because it's a movie, it's getting beyond ridiculous now. And they're actually making it so ridiculous in the hope that people will just wake up. And the latest photo of Jill Biden, she looks like Alice Cooper. I mean, you know, in all the craziness going on right now, we've got to have a chuckle or two as well. It literally looks like Alice Cooper. So sometimes we need a bit of humor to get the truth out, or to spread the truth and to get people just to wake up. But we are in for interesting times ahead. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. That's all I'm going to say before I get taken down again. Happy Sunday. Buckle up, buttercup, and we'll see you soon.